Hello, everyone. Today we're going to learn another 10 common idioms, phrases, and sentences that native English speakers use every single day. These expressions are super useful, and I promise by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what these expressions mean and how to use them naturally in your own conversations. Here's how you can get the most out of this video. First, listen while reading the subtitles. This will help you catch every word and follow along more easily. Then, play the video again and try to repeat the sentences out loud, but this time without reading the subtitles. This will really help you improve your pronunciation, listening, and speaking skills. Don't forget to pause and write down any new expressions you like. That way, you can remember and review them later. This is a great way to boost your listening, reading, and speaking, all at the same time. This lesson is a fun and simple way to improve your English step by step. Before we dive in, if you're finding this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe. It helps a ton, and I really appreciate your support. All right, let's get started with our first expression. Number 1, let's talk turkey. This idiom might sound a little funny at first. It means let's be honest, let's be serious, or let's talk about the real facts without any games or pretending. When someone says, let's talk turkey, they want to have a direct, honest conversation about something important. This expression comes from American culture, and it's been around for a really long time. People use it when they want to stop small talk and get down to business. It's like saying, okay, let's be real here, or let's cut to the chase. Let me share a story about this. Last month, my friend Sarah was thinking about buying a used car. The salesman kept talking about the beautiful color and the nice radio, but Sarah finally said, let's talk turkey. What's really wrong with this car? Has it been in any accidents? She wanted the honest truth, not just the pretty details. For example, you might hear something like, we've been talking about this project for hours. Let's talk turkey and decide what we're actually going to do. Here's another one. I know you don't want to hurt my feelings, but let's talk turkey. Do you really think this dress looks good on me? People often say, okay, team, let's talk turkey about our budget problems. Have you ever been in a situation where you just wanted someone to be completely honest with you? This is the perfect expression for those moments. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had to talk turkey with someone. Number 2, I don't buy it. This phrase doesn't have anything to do with shopping or money. When someone says, I don't buy it, it means I don't believe it, I don't accept that explanation, or I think something sounds suspicious. It's a way to express doubt about what someone is telling you. This expression comes from the idea of buying something. Just like you might refuse to buy something at a store because you don't think it's worth it, you can refuse to buy an idea or explanation because you don't think it's true. Here's a real situation where I heard this. My teenage nephew came home 2 hours late and told his mom that the school bus broke down. But his mom had already talked to other parents, and their kids got home on time. She looked at him and said, sorry, but I don't buy it. What really happened? It turned out he had stopped at a friend's house to play video games and forgot about the time. For example, you might hear something like, he says he forgot about our date, but I don't buy it. He was probably just hanging out with his friends. Let's take this one. The company says they're raising prices to improve quality, but I don't buy it. I think they just want more profit. Here's another one. She claims she's never received my text messages, but I don't buy it. This is such a useful expression when you're skeptical about something. Do you think you could use this phrase when someone gives you an excuse that doesn't sound true? Tell me in the comments about a time when you didn't buy someone's explanation. Number 3, please just drop it. This phrase means please stop talking about this topic. Let's not discuss this anymore, or please leave this subject alone. When someone says drop it, they want to end the conversation about something, usually because it's making them uncomfortable, upset, or frustrated. Think of it like dropping something you're holding. When you drop something, you let it go and stop holding on to it. That's exactly what this phrase means. Let go of this topic and stop holding on to it. I remember a family dinner where my cousin kept asking my aunt about her divorce. It was clearly a sensitive topic, and after the third question, my aunt said, "Please, can we just drop it? I don't want to talk about this tonight." She wanted to enjoy dinner with the family without discussing something painful. For example, you might hear something like, "I know you're worried about my grades, but can we please just drop it? I'm doing my best." Here's another one. "We've argued about this for an hour and we're not getting anywhere. Let's just drop it." People often say, "I don't want to discuss my personal life at work. Can we please drop it?" This phrase is really helpful when you want to politely end a conversation that's becoming uncomfortable. Have you ever been in a situation where you wished someone would just drop a topic? Let me know in the comments how you might use this expression. Number 4, leave nothing to chance. This phrase means to plan everything very carefully, to prepare for every possibility, or to make sure everything is organized so nothing can go wrong. When you leave nothing to chance, you think about all the things that could happen and prepare for them. The word chance here means luck or things that might happen randomly. So when you leave nothing to chance, you're not depending on good luck. Instead, you're planning everything yourself to make sure things go well. My sister used this approach when she planned her wedding. She made backup plans for everything. She had an indoor location ready in case it rained. She hired 2 photographers in case one got sick, and she even had extra flowers ordered. She told me, "I'm leaving nothing to chance. This day has to be perfect." And you know what? Everything went smoothly because she had prepared for every possibility. For example, you might hear something like, "The presentation is really important for our company, so we're leaving nothing to chance. We've practiced it 10 times. Let's take this one. I'm studying for my driving test and leaving nothing to chance. I've memorized every rule and practiced parallel parking 50 times." Here's another one. "The chef prepared extra food for the party because he wanted to leave nothing to chance." This expression is perfect for describing careful planning and preparation. Do you think you could use this when talking about an important event you're planning? Which situations in your life would benefit from leaving nothing to chance? Share your thoughts in the comments. Number 5, there you go again. This phrase is used when someone keeps doing the same thing over and over, especially something annoying or frustrating. It means you're doing that same thing again, and it usually shows that the speaker is a little tired of this repeated behavior. This expression became really famous when President Ronald Reagan used it during a debate in 1980, but people had been saying it long before that. It's a way to point out that someone has a habit of doing something, and you've noticed the pattern. I hear this all the time between my parents. My dad always forgets to put his coffee cup in the dishwasher, and every morning my mom finds it sitting on the counter. She'll pick it up and say, "There you go again, leaving your cup for me to clean up." It's not really angry, it's more like she's pointing out his habit in a slightly frustrated but familiar way. For example, you might hear something like, "There you go again, checking your phone while I'm talking to you." People often say, There you go again, making promises you can't keep. Here's another one. There you go again, worrying about things that might never happen. This phrase is great for pointing out repeated behaviors in a gentle but clear way. Have you ever wanted to tell someone they keep doing the same thing over and over? Let me know in the comments about habits that make you want to say, "There you go again." Number 6. I can't think of anything. This expression is exactly what it sounds like. It means your mind is blank, you have no ideas, or you can't remember what you wanted to say. It's a very honest way to admit that you don't have an answer or suggestion at the moment. This is one of those expressions that's so simple and direct. Sometimes our brains just feel empty, especially when we're tired, stressed, or put on the spot. It's completely normal, and this phrase is a polite way to admit it. This happened to me just last week. My friend asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and even though my birthday was coming up, my mind went completely blank. I stood there for a minute and then said, "You know what? I honestly can't think of anything right now. Can I get back to you tomorrow?" Sometimes we need time to think, and that's okay. For example, you might hear something like, "What should we have for dinner tonight? I can't think of anything." Let's take this one. The teacher asked me to name a famous scientist, but I was so nervous I couldn't think of anything. Here's another one. I wanted to write in your birthday card, but I can't think of anything clever to say. This expression is so useful for those moments when your mind feels empty. Do you ever have times when someone asks you a question and you just can't think of anything? It happens to everyone. Tell me in the comments about a time when your mind went blank. Number 7. How old do you think I am? This question is usually asked when someone treats you like you're much younger or older than you really are, or when they explain something very basic that you already know. It's a way of saying, "I'm not as young as you think," or "I already know this." People ask this question when they feel insulted by someone assuming they don't understand something because of their age. It can be asked by someone who thinks they're being treated like a child, or sometimes by older people who feel they're being treated like they're too old to understand modern things. My 16-year-old cousin experienced this recently. Her mom was explaining how to use the washing machine like she was talking to a 5-year-old, giving very detailed instructions about every button. Finally, my cousin said, "Mom, how old do you think I am? I've been doing my own laundry for 2 years." She was frustrated because her mom was treating her like a little kid. For example, you might hear something like, "You don't need to explain what Instagram is. How old do you think I am?" People often say, "How old do you think I am?" I remember when this song first came out. Here's another one. She started explaining how to send an email. I said, "How old do you think I am? I've been using computers longer than you've been alive." This question is perfect for those moments when someone underestimates your knowledge or experience. Have you ever felt like someone was treating you younger or older than your real age? Let me know in the comments how you might use this question. Number 8. When I was your age. This phrase is used by older people when they want to compare their past experiences to what younger people are experiencing now. Usually, it's followed by a story about how things were different, often more difficult, when they were young. This expression is classic parent or grandparent language. Older generations use it to share wisdom, give advice, or sometimes to complain about how easy young people have it today. It can be helpful advice, but sometimes younger people get tired of hearing it. My grandmother uses this phrase all the time. Last month, I was complaining about having to walk 10 minutes to the bus stop when it was raining. She looked at me and said, "When I was your age, I walked 3 miles to school every day, rain or shine, and we didn't have fancy raincoats either." She was trying to teach me that I should be grateful for what I have. For example, you might hear something like, "When I was your age, we didn't have cell phones. If we wanted to talk to friends, we had to call their house and talk to their parents first." Let's take this one. When I was your age, I worked 2 jobs and went to school full time. Here's another one. When I was your age, we had to look things up in the library. We couldn't just Google everything. This phrase is so common in conversations between different generations. Do you hear older people in your family say this? How do you feel when someone starts a sentence with, "When I was your age"? Share your experiences in the comments. Number 9. What are you waiting for? This question means, why aren't you doing something right now? What's stopping you? Or hurry up and take action. It's used when someone seems hesitant or slow to do something, and the speaker wants to encourage them to act quickly. This question can be encouraging or impatient, depending on how it's said. Sometimes it's like saying, "Go for it," and sometimes it's more like, "Come on, hurry up." The tone of voice makes a big difference in how this question feels. I remember when my friend Lisa was nervous about applying for a new job. She had been talking about it for weeks, researching the company, updating her resume, but she hadn't actually sent the application. Finally, I said to her, "Lisa, you're perfect for this job, and the application deadline is tomorrow. What are you waiting for?" I was trying to encourage her to stop overthinking and just do it. And she did. She got the job too. For example, you might hear something like, "The concert tickets go on sale in 5 minutes. What are you waiting for? Get on the website." People often say, "You've been talking about learning guitar for months. What are you waiting for? Just buy one and start practicing." Here's another one. "The light turned green. What are you waiting for?" This question is great for encouraging action or expressing impatience. Have you ever wanted to ask someone this when they were taking too long to make a decision? Tell me in the comments about a time when you or someone else needed this kind of push. Number 10. Let me get this straight. This phrase means, let me make sure I understand correctly, or let me repeat what you said to check if I heard it right. People use it when they want to clarify something that sounds confusing, surprising, or hard to believe. This expression is really useful when you're trying to process information that seems complicated or shocking. It gives you time to organize your thoughts and make sure you understand everything correctly before you respond. My coworker used this phrase last week during a meeting. Our boss was explaining a new project that seemed to have a lot of moving parts and contradictory requirements. Finally, my coworker raised her hand and said, "Wait, let me get this straight. You want us to finish this project in 2 weeks, but you also want us to do extra research that will take a month." She was trying to point out that the timeline didn't make sense. For example, you might hear something like, "Let me get this straight. You're telling me you forgot your own birthday." Let's take this one. Let me get this straight. The meeting is at 3 p.m., but you want me to prepare a presentation that takes 4 hours to make, and you're telling me this at 1 p.m. People often say, "Let me get this straight. You drove all the way to the store and forgot to buy the one thing you went there for." This phrase is perfect for those moments when you need to double-check that you understood something correctly. Do you think this could be useful when someone tells you something confusing? Let me know in the comments about a time when you needed to get something straight. Let's recap what we learned today. We covered 10 really useful expressions that native English speakers use all the time. We learned, "Let's talk turkey," for having honest conversations. I don't buy it for expressing doubt. Please just drop it for ending uncomfortable topics and leave nothing to chance for careful planning. We also covered, there you go again, for pointing out repeated behaviors. I can't think of anything for those blank mind moments. How old do you think I am? For when someone underestimates you, and when I was your age for sharing generational experiences. Finally, we learned, what are you waiting for encouraging action, and let me get this straight, for clarifying confusing information. These expressions will make your English sound much more natural and help you connect better with native speakers. Remember, the key is to practice using them in real conversations. Start with one or two that feel most natural to you and gradually add the others. Which of these 10 expressions was your favorite today? And which one do you think you'll use first in your own conversations? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button if this video helped you, and subscribe for more English lessons like this one. Tomorrow we'll be back with 10 more useful expressions that will take your English to the next level. Take care and keep practicing your English. You're doing great, and every new expression you learn brings you closer to speaking like a native speaker. See you in the next video.